Hey everyone, Liz McItarian, founder of Stop Moms for Liberty here, and I am very thankful to our podcast hosts, the Voice of Reason, who has allowed us to use their platform today to just make this video to reach out to you. So I have some exciting information that we want to share. Um, we have found that, our membership in particular is feeling down and feeling like, oh, there's nothing we can do. But with the beautiful thoughts of April, who will come on next here, we're able to come up with a plan of action that you can do locally, and we can help you through, actually doing that. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to one of our members, April, and it's Ferretti. Is that right?
Gabriel Ferretti.
Gabriel Ferretti. And she is also the executive director of Nazareth Together, which is in Pennsylvania, right?
That's correct.
Yep, Nazareth, Pennsylvania.
Nazareth, PA.
Yeah. So she contacted me and she said, hey, have you ever thought of this? Well, my wheels started spinning then, and we think we've developed a pretty cool process that we can go through. So April, welcome in.
Thank you so much, Liz. I'm so excited to be here this evening. Yeah, I thought it would be, very helpful to community members across the country to come up with some sort of action plan, right? So many people right now are scared, understandably, feeling hopeless. And I thought, what better way to do that than to bring our communities together with a nationwide initiative, which we're calling Rage Against Fascism, right? And Liz, which was very clever, came up with the acronym for RAGE, which stands for resist, allies.
I have to read it still too. I got resources,
resources, yes,
gatherings, and education. So it's right up our alley at Stop Moms.
Yeah. Correct. Right. And so, in that acronym, alone, you can, kind of get the gist of what we're going here for. Right. So we're trying to get organizations, different types of supports in our local communities together under one roof for one afternoon or one morning. But we're looking for your help, right? Community members, for somebody to step up and be an organizer in your neck of the woods. And again, the idea is to give people a little bit of hope. Give people, the knowledge that they're going to need to sustain these next 4 years, right? And so whether that's something like your local Planned Parenthood or a women's health center, or any variety of different things, we hope that you'll join us. We put together a really exciting package for organizers who would like to join us in this effort. And so we're rolling it out. I believe Tuesday, right, Liz?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. And so you'll get everything you need in order to, make things happen. We've given you a play-by-play in order to make your event a successful event. So I hope you'll join us.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're hoping as well, that across the nation, folks, all it takes is one, right, to develop a plan and then get a few friends to work with you. And it's not replicating anything that we've seen so far. Our vision, and I think we share the same vision, April, is to have an event where those who are marginalized feel like, hey, here's actual support for me.
That's correct. Yes.
We can, talk about supporting people all we want until we're blue in the face on TikTok, or, well, maybe TikTok, who knows these days what the current status is, but on social media platforms. But it's moving it from that kind of level of involvement to, hey, let's really get some support in place for these folks. I know that here in Florida, we have wonderful equality groups, and some of our local people don't even know about them. And they're from marginalized communities that maybe could benefit from knowing that resources are available. So,
and I think you make a good point. Oops, sorry, Liz. I think you make a good point, right? And a point that I forgot to mention is that, we want to make sure that we're highlighting and lifting up those that are marginalized in our communities, right? Like people of color, women, people that are identify as part of the LGBTQ plus community. It's really about those people that, we want to make sure that, again, they have access to the information they need, the resources they need during this, this time of great uncertainty.
Yeah. And I think that has to happen on the local level, not so much, Stop Moms for Liberty or even your group that is statewide, right? And we need to get down to, okay, so what is the help that people need and who's providing that help? Because daily I'm learning about new things that are of support.
That's right.
new things that people can tap into during this turbulent time. So that's our goal, is to have these events. We're not going to orchestrate your event from the national office. We're going to provide the, hey, have you thought about, and some steps on making an event happen. And the event is entirely up to the membership. If they want to have a small event with just a few people, hey, that's a few people that might feel supported when they
Right.
weren't before.
Yeah.
If you want to do a large event, great. Some people have never done any events before, any planning, so it's intimidating to think of that. But we're not talking about hiring the right band and having the right venue
That's
and the
right.
right food.
Although they can if they'd like.
They can if they want to,
Mhm.
absolutely. So there's no parameters that are to be set, other than this event, however it shapes out to be in your local area, has to pull in players that are the support pieces.
Correct.
So as you stated, your LGBTQ plus support groups, the NAACP support
Yes.
groups, and there's so much support available. But just like when I found out, that people across the nation were fighting Moms for Liberty, they just didn't know about the other people in their areas that were doing the same work. So that's been our goal, and this goes right up the same alley as that. And it's an educational piece for us to tackle, which I just love, because we want people to know more about what support is necessary, because it seems daily there's something else we go, oh gosh,
Oh, yeah.
and we want to be true advocates for anybody in a marginalized community, for those that don't have a voice or feel like they don't have a place at the table. We want to start making that happen, and in this grassroots way. So April said it's called Rage Against Fascism. And of course, you all know why that's the title. And we're keeping that word rage because it really is what we've been feeling within from, whatever, November till now, right? It was like, how did
It's
we get to
2020.
well, yeah, there's that too.
2020.
But it's so blatant now, and it's, it's like every day we're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Right.
So instead of just saying, "Oh my goodness, that's so horrible," and covering the news, we really want to get our membership focused on producing something very positive and helpful in the long run.
And empowering people,
Mhm.
right? Like I said a few moments ago, action cures fear, right?
Yep.
It's one thing to wring our fists and be angry, right? Be filled with rage,
Right.
but action is where it's at, right? By taking action, that's how we empower ourselves and each other.
Mhm.
And so it's my hope that in doing that, we'll have a better idea of the options that are available for us
Yeah,
and those
absolutely.
that matter most to us.
And I think a lot of times we jump out and we think we're providing, X program as support, when we probably don't have to do that, because there's some other organization that is providing those services. We just need to help them to become more exposed so that people know that those services are available. I know in my county, I think they still have it as a program. It's 211, and you dial that and you can plug in all your different topics of support that you might need. So it's kind of a version of that we want to roll out for our members to do on a national level. So,
Well, thank you, Liz. I mean, I really appreciate you coming alongside of Nazareth Together and, allowing for us to get this messaging and this initiative out to, throughout the country. We really appreciate your support.
yep, absolutely. Because this is like I said, right up our alley of, okay, so what are we going to do now? Because a lot of us are having those feelings, and
Okay.
this is something that I think can be done practically and really without much money at all. And if money is needed, we can do some kind of fundraising.
Sure.
And I have reached out to a couple of sources that might be able to supply almost like a grant
Mhm.
to the different groups that are trying to do this. So we'll be in constant contact with any of the members that decide that, hey, I want to do an event. Let's just
Yes.
say in Pittsburgh, they decided that they want to do an event.
Mhm.
We have information that we'll be sharing. We've got a list of suggested different organizations or allies for them to contact and to pull in to have this. It's almost like a vendor fair, is what I'm kind of
Mhm.
thinking, where people
That's a
come
great
and
way
they
of
set
putting
up
it. Yep.
tables and so forth. But it needs to happen in their local areas. I mean, I can say Equality Florida a zillion times, but if somebody that's in a marginalized community here in Florida is actually at some place where there's people from Equality Florida, how much more powerful is that?
Right.
So
Well,
um,
and I want people to know too, right? Like, as much as we want to encourage people to, go big or go home, which they don't have to do.
right,
They're certainly welcome to that. Even gathering 10 people under your own roof
sure,
in your kitchen, right?
sure.
And having that type of camaraderie and support, right? Is nothing to kind of feel bad about because you didn't go big, right? I
Mhm.
think anything is something worth celebrating. So we hope that people plug in where they can and how they can.
Yep, absolutely. So it's fairly loosely structured, but it is a structure that somebody can follow, almost like timeline steps and things of that nature. We would suggest that you look into what events are already taking place in your area. It could be, I know they did the women's marches this week. It could be that there are things being put together during the month of February or during the month of March, and people might want to have this information event at the same time, because then that's, you've got an automatic body of participants.
Mhm.
So there'll be lots that we share. The process is that we're going to roll out a more or less sign up Google
Mhm.
document. It's got a few questions in there. And then I believe, are going to have a Discord group that is going to kind of facilitate this on the national level and provide
Mhm.
support along the way.
And
Um,
education is needed. Yep.
Yep, absolutely. And we just opened a Facebook group as well, but we're going to try really hard to lean on that Discord, just so that it doesn't get lost in the shuffle of social media. So that's where we're at. I'm excited to think that yes, we're going to have this concrete plan laid out for people, concrete, but that you can stamp in your own image. I guess you can really make it work for your community.
Yep.
I know that there's an example of a community event that they did in California that was wonderful. They brought in all these different pockets of people for this meeting, and their common denominator was they all supported public education.
Mhm.
So when you gather people together, you gain strength. And so I feel like this is our, maybe not answer, but at least part of a solution to how do
Mhm.
we actually support the folks that need help. Because me putting a word of encouragement on Facebook is fine, but we need to do even more for our folks that are going to be unfortunately impacted by some of these things that go on.
Mhm.
So watch for everything more to roll out. You'll see April's name, my name, Crystal, of course, our national leader is involved as well, and we're looking forward to it. We think it's a great way for you to really stand up and not feel so alone in your community. So many people right now, I think, are wringing their hands like, oh my gosh, what should we do? Well, we think this is doable, and it can be done to fit your time constraints or your local constraints. And I think it's something that will be worth looking into. So watch for the big announcement and the rollout of the document that you can sign up on I think we said Tuesday,
We're going
Wednesday
to
night,
roll it
right?
out Tuesday, right on the tail end of Martin Luther King Day of Service and the
Yep,
Women's March, and so we're hoping to kind of ride that momentum out
yep.
and get people excited and motivated and ready to roll.
Yep. Yep. So, keep your ears peeled. We'll be sending lots of information through the Facebook and through other venues, and we'll really lay out those steps of how to go ahead and
We're here to support you every step of the way.
absolutely. And if, this hopefully will give some of you a little ray of light of, oh, okay, well, I can't get enough people to get together and do this protest. This is actually a real helpful event for people. And I think, in different locations, it'll be readily accessible and it will be accepted by the community as a whole. So, all right. Any other last words, April?
No, I think that's it. I thank you for, coming alongside of us, Liz, and I thank each and every one of you who are out there listening tonight, who are, have their, wheels spinning, thinking about, how they can get involved. Every little bit helps, right? And so, we encourage you to bring others alongside of you. This isn't a one man, one woman, or anything in between
Right.
type of effort, right? This is about a collaborated effort.
Yep.
We're excited and we're ready to support you again every step of the way.
Awesome. Awesome. Looking forward to it. So keep watching, friends. More news to come.
Good night.
Bye, April.
Bye.